Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught. A big play here for Dallas. 49 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Check. Here we go. Go right in. Check 55 to Mike.
Now Elliott. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Prescott. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Team 6. Hey, alert. Quarter. Check 44, check 80. Safe. Shoot. 49, check 49.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check. I got one. Check. Monday. 36, 80. Quick dash. Come.
They'll run with his second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. And the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Hey, exit. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. Hug.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together.
And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Xavier Howard. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Cooper was the target there. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Mike 5-4. Hey, Alpha. Mike 5-4. Hey, quarter. Blue day. Hey, switch gears. Monday.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Oh, Rosen is stripped of the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Trying to stick with Dez. There got too physical. Pass interference.
I like your note there. So physical. Hard for any defender to cover Dez Bryant without drawing a pass interference call.
Prescott on 1st down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing on second and long. Prescott. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Watch the safety creep. Back.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's Elliott. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 92 yards. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Mike, 55. Check.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike 55.
And now it's Rosen looking. It's complete to Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Bravo.
That's mine. Check.
Monday.
Check.
Here's Rosen to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
54. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check. Franco. What? Twin.
Middle.
Check. Under 10.
Quarter.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Alert.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Check 24. Quarter. Hey, look.
Rosen to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jakeem Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now, this game certainly has some historical ties. These two teams met way back in Super Bowl VI, played at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, Dallas getting the victory. First title for the Cowboys. They've won 4 more since, but that next season was when Miami had the perfect season, still the only undefeated campaign in league history, as they capped it with a win over Washington at Super Bowl VII in Los Angeles. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, first down. On 1st and 10, Prescott eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Prescott to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long for Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
To throw is Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Prescott. And he's going to go down again. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Prescott from the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time remaining for likely one final play. You're on your side of the field, but, yeah, heck, maybe you throw one up 50-plus yards, see what happens.
Don't forget that taking the knee is the right play to make because you just get out of there, you regroup, you start over. But if you're going to take the shot, you do have a chance of either making the play happen or picking up a deep pass interference call. And remember, it's the NFL. You get yardage. It's not just a 15-yard play. You could have something big here. Let's see if they take the shot.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 9, Rosen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this. Situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Middle.
Wide, get wide. Slam.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
6 man. Check curls, check curls.
They go to Elliott again. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year. 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Off. Coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. I got you, son. I got you, son. Check 31. Check. Hey, kill. Then we're going to 53. 26.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Check 55 for Mike. Oh, here we go. Oh, check 26.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check Mike.
Again, it's Elliott. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
You ain't going nowhere. They got tight left. 26.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Well, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Get ready.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher...
Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 36-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Charles Harris able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
Here we go, 46.
Everybody, Mike 20, Mike 20.
26.
Yeah.
26.
Throwing on second and long. Prescott. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play here for Dallas. And even 40 yards. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
We got this.
A gain on the play. That's good for a Cowboys.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final...
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first three, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You better be afraid of me.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Switch. 80. He's coming. We got time. Monday. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Throwing again on second down. Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Rosen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen. He completes it to Peak. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
A 6-yard pickup. Brings up second.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hey, alert. Play.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rosen. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start on the ground with Elliott. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Complete to Bryant. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
He's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Rosen. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler, Byron Jones.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line up.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Marr now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
You want this? Hey, quarter. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check 52. Out, out. Hug, hug.
Third and long here for Rosen. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, Wahoo! You're not ready. You're not ready.
20. Monday.
Check 25. Hey, alert.
Monday.
And turn it up.
What do you got?
Rosen on 1st and 10. And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Miami, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.